Perfect. Perfect. Welcome to Dirty Fanatic.
Welcome. We're doing a little different here for about 10 minutes, but welcome to Dirty Fanatics United. Hit that like, subscribe. We got a little show here for you today for a little bit until the game comes on. But I want to thank Cody here for being here.
Yeah, he's back with the baby. Welcome to Dirty Fanatics United.
Well, that was more
episode
than
85. Coming at you live, man, here on a Saturday right before the Falcons' second preseason game for obviously kicking off football here for the Atlanta Falcons' second preseason game. I'm excited. Little man excited. I know Philip Cody's excited. If you're new to the channel, man, hit that like and share like my boy Philip said. Philip, Cody, man, what's been going on, boys?
It's been a eventful week, I guess. Got bit by something yesterday, but we good now. Woke up, I'm sore from rib down yesterday morning. So I don't know, maybe alignments. I don't know.
God,
it is what it is.
65 now?
I am, bro. I'm 22 in a 65-year-old body. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, man, I'm blessed, man. You know what I mean? Ready to see what we got going on here today. This second preseason game, and ready to talk about what the moves we made this week, baby. You feel me?
Absolutely. The Falcons. One Falcon in particular, Terry Fontenot was not playing this past week. Obviously, that is one of the topics here for the podcast before we get live. But before we do that, man, Cody, what's been going on, brother?
Oh man, not much. I would say doing this a little different setup. You can see doing this live from work. So
yes, sir.
Happy to be here, man. I'm excited to watch Falcons. Hopefully, make work go by a little bit quicker too. So
absolutely,
sir.
Cody, a diehard here for DFU, man, coming live while he's at work. Always putting in the time here for the channel, man. Shout out to Cody for being here today for the podcast. Philip, Cody, obviously a big signing this past week. Two big signings, not one, but two. One in free agency, one in a trade. Falcon, not a trade. Yeah, it was a trade. Third round pick. I said.
He gave away a chicken nugget.
Dominant pass rusher. Philip, Cody, this team has changed tremendously since last week. Falcon fans, how are we feeling about this new Falcons defense?
I'm just telling you, week 1, 2, whatever. They better be ready because we coming. we got now. I ain't even gonna get on that subject for right now. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But we the freaking line has just got dominant, and it's just gonna be crazy. And then we have the Terror Twins in the back in the secondary, but we'll get to who those are in a minute. You know what I mean? So all I gotta say is, whoever we play, man, you get ready, man. That's all I gotta say.
Cody, obviously the news broke this week, man. You went and you got a trade for a third-round pick for one of the most dynamic pass rushers the Falcons have seen potentially since Vic Beasley passed the John Abraham era. The only guy that you've had on the defense that could rack up 12 sacks a game. I mean, he played 4 games last year and finished off the season with 4 sacks because of an injury to end his season. Obviously, this is the bounce-back year for our guy. Cody, break me down.
yeah, no, the word for this defense is dangerous, man. It's we went from everybody saying 10 games and that we should be the dominant in the South. Man, looking at the guys, and Matthew Judon and Simmons, getting signed, man, the word for me is dangerous. When you have a defense that can kind of match your offensive talent, you're scary. Defense definitely wins championships. And now we finally got a guy who can get the quarterback down on the ground with Matthew Judon on the edge there. So it's going to be exciting to see. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see him in pads and a helmet. Probably don't want to see him in preseason right now, either, Simmons or him, get suited up. But, man, week 1, Pittsburgh, you better be ready because we're coming for that ass.
Absolutely, 100%. You speak on the depth now that you have at the edge. We've talked about it a lot this whole offseason. We've talked about how stacked that D-line was. Then you make a trade right after your rookie sensation, the third-round draft pick, getting reps with the first and second team. Braylon Trice goes down with a season-ending injury. So you go and you trade for, a dog, Cody, a dog at the edge. And then you go and you trade for you go and pick up a Justin Simmons. You bring him in here on a 2-day visit. The New Orleans Saints was another team trying
They got Debo.
Justin Simmons. Kerry calls him up like, hey, Bo, get out of greasy New Orleans. Come on down to the A to some lemon pepper wings, and let's get you to sign a contract, baby. And that's exactly what happened. Justin Simmons to the A. Good Morning Football had Grady Jarrett on, I believe it was yesterday or this morning. And Grady Jarrett spoke on how they got Justin Simmons in the building. He said, I think what made Justin Simmons bite for this team was the culture that we've created here in Atlanta. Terry and Raheem have came into this building before the season's already even started and changed the culture within not even a year, guys. I'm excited to see what this team is going to be. I'm ready to see what Raheem does, takes this next step as a head coach. I'm ready to see Terry continue to build a winning franchise here in Atlanta. Philip, Cody, Justin Simmons to Atlanta, and how big of a signing was this? And I'm going to step out on a limb and say you are better now than you were preseason game 1.
Yep.
Oh, 100%. We are better. Just the talent that he's got. He's a Pro Bowler. 2-time, I think. Got that. Maybe more than that. 4. It could be 4. I can't remember.
4-time, I believe.
Okay, I think it was 4-time Pro Bowler. He's a Pro Bowler. That explains it there. That's the first time we've had he's a strong safety at that too, ain't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a strong safety. Yeah, we ain't had a strong safety like that in years, let alone just the defense in general. We haven't had a great defense like this in a while. But with signing him, that gives people it ain't putting so much pressure just on Richie or Helms to get back fast. It's also going to help them guys get better, learning from somebody like this with the talent that he's got. It's just it's a win-win situation. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Ethan Wilson here on Facebook. Says Saints fans downgrading Simmons since we have. Shout out to Ethan Wilson, man. Head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, Ethan. We appreciate you here in the live.
But yeah, adding him, it just creates what I like to call the terror twins back there, and in the safeties. You got Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons now. That's the terror twins.
With a young Richie Grant. Rumors are coming from camp. Richie took an injury. Is this true, guys, or is this just a speculation that I've seen?
I have not seen it, but
I haven't heard any news on that, so it may just be.
But if it is, it was small. If it is, it had to be small.
Well, you speak on Justin Simmons and Judon, man. Then you got to look across the field. You got a Grady Jarrett, a Zach Harrison that's gonna definitely get playing time here in his second year. Guys, enough of what's happened this past week. We got a game today, boys. In less than 35 minutes, the Atlanta Falcons are taking the field. Michael Penix Jr. will be at the helm again of this offense. Falcon fans, Cody, Phillip, get active here in the comment section, Falcon fans. What do we expect today from Michael Penix Jr. and this offense? Obviously, you got to see a better play out of Taylor Heineke. He's still on the roster, so you want to see Taylor Heineke come out and play better today. He's got to do better than what he did last week. And the big thing I'm watching for is Michael Penix. Can Michael Penix Jr. come back and continue? It wasn't a fluke. We're going to show these reporters that we are the real deal. We're going to come out here and continue to put up 100 yards. We're going to put up a better passer rating this week than we did week 1. Philip, Cody, are my standards too high, or are we looking for that as well?
No, that ain't too high. We're looking at it the same point of view. You know what I mean? I do feel like he's going to come out there and show out again. He's been doing it in practice, camp, all continuously. It ain't been inconsistent from all them fake articles saying he was inconsistent. From the sounds of the team and Raheem, he's just the same guy that he's been doing the entire time. I feel like he's going to do the same thing today. He's going to go out there, be consistent, comfortable, and confident. I see a good bit. My expectations today, he will get his first actual NFL passing touchdown.
Love it. Love it. Cody, thoughts, expectations of today's game down in Baltimore. What are we expecting from this young rookie quarterback, these rookie receivers in Casey Washington? What is your expectation for tonight's game? Or should I say this lunchtime game?
This afternoon game.
Yeah, it's a mid-afternoon game, I would say. So, yeah, no, I'm definitely looking for Michael Penix to continue to get better. He did put out a great, really good, decent showing, his first NFL game with pads and helmets. I think he was ranked the third best rookie quarterback to put on a performance in preseason, if I'm not mistaken, third or fourth. So I'm definitely looking to see that. I definitely want to see him bring the ball down a little bit more. There were some of those throws that he missed high. So, let's see if he can get that taken care of. As far as Tyler Heineke, man, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably on his way out. I don't think we're going to carry 3 quarterbacks. I think we're going to take, that we're probably going to cut him, probably going to, go separate ways, save that I think it's like $2.5, $2.8 million that he'll have. I could be wrong, but I don't think his time in Atlanta is going to be here much longer. Definitely looking to see what King can do again, if he can stay consistent, wanting to see that, wanting to see how this defense, can the defense come up with a better run defense? Because we did get torched a few times by Miami, with their running back game. So I want to see if those 2s and 3s can really step it up and stop that run game. Now the tackling looked good first preseason game, which is, a little unusual. So it'd be nice to see, if the tackling stays consistent, stays, nice and crisp. Definitely want to see what that second string offensive line can do, because, our starting 5 isn't always going to be in there. They're going to rotate. Guys are going to get tired. So I definitely am looking forward to seeing if those second string, third string guys that are on that offensive line can really step it up, not allow pressures, keep sacks from happening and all that stuff. But so there's a lot for me that I'm looking forward to, for today's game, especially against, Baltimore. It's supposed to have a decent defense. Again, I understand it's preseason, it's 2s and 3s, but, I'm looking forward to seeing the guys who are fighting for jobs and fighting to be on this team, because this team is going to be special. So, these guys aren't just fighting because it's a job, but we're building something here in Atlanta, and people are going to want to be part of it.
Right. Absolutely, man. Sorry for the noise in the background. The lawn care business is here cutting the grass today, and they had to come at 11:20 during the live podcast. So shout out to the lawn care. Falcon fans, let me know in the comment section, Heineke, what are our expectations? Obviously, Ethan Wilson here has shown his expectations. He says, Dalton wants to knock the mic over, but his expectations is he wants Heineke going. Be a Falcon here in Mr. Ethan Wilson's mind. Falcon fans, there goes the mic again. How are we feeling? How are we?
Say it again. Yeah, say it again. It went out a little bit. We can hear you now. Yeah. It cut in and out.
Saying, give me your expectations of Taylor Heineke this year. Does he make the team, or are we obviously just looking to cut Taylor?
That's a good question. I have to agree with the comment. I do feel like he has to get the boot, but then again, I don't know what their plan is with him. You know what I mean? Don't know if they have a certain plan with him, but it just seems like they're farming him just to see if they have trade value somewhere, and it looks like their plan is not like what they have in mind. It's not going so good because of the way he's playing.
Absolutely.
So they're trying to find us. It may seem like they're trying to find a certain way. So I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind for him to go to make some, cap space. That's always lovely. But it is, whether it happens or not, it is what it is. You know what I mean? He's here. If he's not, he is. You know what I mean? It don't matter. But he's got to do better if he's going to stay here, though. That's plain and simple. You got to be better.
Ethan Wilson says, we didn't get burn players who were in positions and didn't execute. Wasn't filling the gaps on the run. Dropping interceptions on defense. Dropping interceptions was a very big issue. There were some plays that what was his name? Hamilton. Hamilton should have had a couple interceptions, but he didn't come away with it. Was dropping interceptions.
But
I will say the run game was trash against Miami. You didn't fill your holes. You didn't fill your gaps. There was people that were just, pretty much doing whatever they want to do with you, even as a second, third string offense. Want to see progression in my biggest thing, man. And this is why I'm not worried about the defense, because those guys that are playing defense right now are guys that are trying to make a roster spot. I guarantee you, and just same with the offense, you have every spot is locked down now. You have no position battle other than Mike Hughes and Clark Phillips at cornerback. And I think that's a really close battle to watch. But Justin Simmons is definitely number one. You're definitely going to start Jesse Bates on that back end. Secondary was the big if for me, but now you have secured that. And then hopefully a Helms to return later on this season. I want to see Richie Grant do big things here as a depth piece. I'm not going to lie. Richie was on my cut list last year, but Richie made the team. He seemed to always find a way on this roster. So I want to see Richie Grant do big things for this defense if he's going to be a rotational piece here in the secondary, because you have two of the greatest to learn from, Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons now. It's crazy at the veteran presence that's here in this defense. Offense-wise, I want to see these receivers. That's my big issue is receivers. I got to see more catches.
Speaking of that, I called it last week. First pass was to Casey Washington. First touchdown pass, it's going to be to Casey Washington.
For sure. That's the chemistry. Even through training camp.
Them boys is cooking together.
Ethan here says, still think we need another receiver. We do too. Here at DFU, we've talked about it a lot.
Rumors I've seen on Twitter, Terry's not done. He's trying to pursue, from what I've seen, I don't know how true it is, but it seems like he's trying to get Renfro.
That would be nice. Hunter Renfro, more speed. We spoke about the Jakeem Grant guy that we signed. He's been hurt his whole career, 3 season-ending injuries. He comes out, burns A.J. Terrell on a one-on-one route. The next day, he
called it a day. He said he already done his time for the year, bro. He's done.
It sucks because you get these players that have talent. Like, every one of these guys in the NFL have talent.
That's why they're there.
And Jakeem Grant, a very, very quick speedster, and then he goes down. It seems like the past 2 signings, even with the Rondale Moore, don't get me wrong, I was a big Rondale Moore fan. I wanted to see Rondale Moore in this offense. But even with Rondale Moore, he had a history of injuries. Receiver has always been, I would say, the Atlanta Falcons' strong point up till the last 3 to 4 seasons, because it's only been Drake London and Kyle Pitts. You've had a Cordell Hodge. But now you have a Darnell Mooney, a Ray McLeod, 2 guys that are going to fight for that slot position battle. Darnell Mooney's probably receiver 2 when it comes to that position. Ray McLeod, your slot, probably battling with Cordell Hodge there. Another receiver would be nice in this room. A Hunter Renfro, as Philip mentioned here. That would be great.
That'd be lovely.
Receiving core. What are your expectations today out of the receiving core? Obviously, the preseason game 1 was not too great for the Atlanta Falcons at receiving, other than when Casey Washington was in the game. I think Fitzpatrick had a catch. Blair had a nice catch.
Chris Blair looked amazing.
What do you want to see out of this receiving core here from Michael Penix Jr.?
Oh, was that to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was a cut out right there at the end. I was saying, man, honestly, the only thing that I agree, with y'all, obviously, I think we could use another wide receiver in, and I think that's probably why Tyler Heineke's probably on his way out. Opens up some room in the cap. But today, I want to see consistency. No bad drop balls, man. Like, I understand, you're going to drop, contested ones. You're going to drop, ones that, a little too high. So my thing is consistency. Catch the balls that are catchable. If it hits you in the hands, you need to bring it down. That is going to be that's this is a hill that I'll die on. I'm going to pound this nail till the cows come home. Consistency is going to be huge for this team, period. So the wide receiver core, I need to see consistency, especially not just we don't need to see just Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Ray, being consistent. It's got to come from other places too. It just does. So what I'll look for again, with the wide receivers, are you catching balls, that are catchable? Are you going up and you battling, or, you're seeing a guy coming and you back off, so I'm looking, we're definitely looking for those guys that just have that dog, kind of like Drake London. I want to see somebody step up, and I'm not saying that any of these guys behind Drake London are Drake London, but have that dog and that fight in you, show me that you're willing to go put your body up there and go get that ball. And just bring them down. Catch the balls that are catchable. That consistent.
Cody, you bring up a good point there. You talk about going up and grabbing the ball. Like Casey Washington, he gave credit to Michael Penix Jr. He said it was a great throw. There was a catch during the first preseason game he wasn't able to come down with. He said it was a very good ball. He said, I've got to get a better positioning, and I've got to be able to come down with passes like that. Casey Washington, a young player, but already taking significant accountability for what he does out on the football field. Philip, that's Bakari's dad here in the chat, man. He says, ATL, shout out to you, Mr. Nails. Appreciate you here in the comment section, brother. Hit that like button. Falcon fans, we are talking Falcon football, man. Hit that like button. Leave a subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy, CFU. Philip, Cody, defense. We want to see sacks today, correct? We want to see sacks, 100%. At least 3, I would say. I want to see at least 3 sacks today. Philip, Cody, your thoughts for this this defensive line, this secondary. What are your expectations today?
Okay, so last week we shot over the gun, man. We thought we was going to have more than what we thought, but it is what it is. We had the potential, but it just didn't happen. All right, but I have to agree. I see either 2 or 3 today, and I'm going to be satisfied if it happens. You know what I mean?
2 or 3, I'm cool with.
Nothing too crazy, just something simple and sweet. Get a little bit of, pressure at least along with it too. You don't necessarily have to have all the sacks, but get some pressure. Make throws hard and complicated to throw, so that it makes it easier for the DBs secondary to make it easier on them. You know what I mean? Other than that, man, it just continue to put the pressure. Then once you continue to put the pressure, you're gonna get them sacks.
Absolutely. Cody, expectations for this D line, this secondary here for these Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, preseason game 1 didn't quite turn out how you wanted to see. You wanted to see more. What's the word I'm looking for? More aggression, more
ruthless,
more physical football here in preseason, fighting for a depth chart position. So, Cody, what do you want to see out of the defense here when it comes to preseason game 2, where you're getting close to either going home or making a spot on this roster?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. What we want to see today is sacks. Now, do we get, are we disappointed like preseason week 1? We're gonna find out real quick. Who's gonna get on that horse and ride, man. So definitely looking forward to not only seeing the pressure, that the defense puts up, but again, seeing the guys who can finish the play, who can get the quarterback on the ground. Obviously, we're not going to see Lamar Jackson, so I'm not really too familiar with.
Do they still have their backup quarterback, Philip? The one that was like what was his name?
What's his name? Huntley, wasn't it?
Tyler Huntley, I think was his name.
That sounds right. I was saying, he obviously doesn't.
He's a baller. He can get out. He can get out of the pocket too. I don't know if he's still with them.
Took him to the playoffs the rest of that year.
Yep.
So that's what I want to see. Can you get after the guy with wheels? Can you get him on the ground? So definitely looking for that aggression. Definitely looking to see if we can finish the play in the backfield, getting the quarterback on the ground from our defense today. I'm going to say we probably get. I'm going to go ahead and say 3's probably the sweet spot. I would like to see at least 5, but I'm comfortable with 3.
Absolutely. If you come away with 3 sacks, man, you're doing nothing but climbing the charts here, and that's what you want to see when it comes to
progression.
Whether you get two sacks in a game could be game-winning sacks here during the regular season. Shout out to my guy Robert Stevens in the chat. He says, "Good morning, gentlemen." Robert, appreciate you tuning in, brother. Seen your omelet on Facebook as I commented. Tune in to DFU and enjoy your omelet with some live football action, baby. So shout out to Robert Stevens. Robert, we will be getting back with you here shortly. Ethan Wilson here in the comment section. Our high draft offensive players are drooling with a quality quarterback. This is the comment that I've been waiting to see, people. This is the truth, because you have a 5-star quarterback throwing you the ball to some of these whack receivers that you have here in the when it gets pretty deep here on this roster chart. So he's even making the job even better, even easier for these receivers. So I want to see these receivers go out and make Penix's job just a little easier because he fought for those 106 yards week 1 because there were receivers not catching footballs. He was dropping balls in the bucket. I mean, he was
1 for a fumble.
He was throwing dimes, bro. He was throwing dimes preseason game 1. That's what I want to see here preseason game 2. We are less than 30 minutes away from the preseason game 2, Ravens versus Falcons. Philip, Cody, we do this every game day. Score prediction for today's game.
I'm going to give a good close one.
Shout out to you, sir. Hit that like button.
I'm going to give another close one. It's going to be since it's preseason, I'm seeing another 24, maybe a 24-21 type deal, 24-20, something close, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right, Philip. I think it'll be a close one. I'm gonna go ahead and say Falcons 20-21, Ravens 17.
Okay.
I definitely think it'll be close, but I think we find a way to pull out the W today and get it done.
Right. Okay.
So
I said 24-21, and you said, what was it?
21-17 Falcons.
Okay, yeah.
21-17 Falcons. I'll go.
How did I forget that? That's crazy.
Let's go 16-9 here for the preseason game. 16-9 here. It's preseason, man. You get some wacky scores when it comes to preseason. Carlton Bunch here said, "Good morning, DFU. Good morning, Mr. Carlton Bunch. We're glad to have you here with us on the early podcast, man. It's a great blessing to have you here in the chat, man. That means you rock here with DFU, always in the live videos." Carlton Bunch said, "Top 5 defense, top 10 offense, man. I'm driving with it, baby. Top 5 defense, top 5 secondary,
I can get behind it.
top 5 D-line." Come on, man. We talking about language, Carlton. Shout out to Mr. Ethan here in the comment section. Said, "Winning a preseason game only consists of keeping players healthy. A big, big factor when it comes to today's game. You got to have healthy players. Obviously, preseason game 1, you lost 2 significant players. But I will say, no knock to Helms, no knock to Braylon Trice. But I think the defense is better than what we were preseason game 1 healthy. And I know you don't come away preseason game 2 that way if you take a lot of injuries because you're kind of getting a little shallow on money. Getting a little low on money, so it's time to keep our player healthy and get to the season, man. Get to the season healthy. That's what we got to see. Hill
3
Rail
weeks
in the live comment section said, "Let's go." Shout out to Hill Rail, man. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a like. We're glad to have you here in the comment section. Carlton Bunch said, "Really excited about these birds, man. Rise up." Ethan said, Do we get the additional without the injuries?" That's where I don't know. That's where the football logistics are kind of above me. I don't really know how the compensation picks and stuff work. I don't really know how any of that works, man. So I'll have to do a better job at that. I'll have to Google something. Shout out to everybody here in the live comment section. Falcon fans, preseason game 2, less than 25 minutes here. Any crazy stat prediction you want to throw out there, Philip, Cody? Give me a stat prediction for either offense or defense.
I see Casey Washington with over 100 yards today. Not over, but at least 100 yards.
Sheesh.
I mean, it ain't got to happen, but, it could happen. You know what I mean? He's built like that.
Hey, Casey Washington puts up near 100 yards, dude.
He's built like that, bro.
You may have a new slot receiver here in the round.
He's a future starter for sure.
Cody, any stat line prediction expectation here for preseason game 2 before we get ready to wrap up?
I'll give you a wild one. King, three interceptions, 1 for a return touchdown.
Okay, my boy King.
Okay, I think Eddie Goldman goes out there with the first. What do you want to call it? First drive for the defense. Eddie Goldman comes out here and gets a sack, guys. Eddie Goldman, the vet, brings a sack home for the Atlanta Falcons. Your first sack of the 2024 season, man. I think that would be cool to see Eddie Goldman solidify possibly a starting position, man. Falcon fans haven't really been talking about it, but Eddie Goldman, training preseason game 1, on the field, fighting for a spot. Eddie Goldman getting reps with the first team in training camp.
Yes,
Philip, Cody, how odd would it be, or how crazy would it be for Eddie Goldman to get a starting position here on this defense?
It's not crazy for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Looking at the past, it's not crazy, but being out for 3 years, I don't know if he kept in shape, but that's only him. But looking at his past, no, it's not crazy for me. To me, that he gets a spot on this team. It's just showing he's still like that. You know what I mean? Even at an older age, we'll have to see what happens, but it's not really too much of a shock to me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Cody, Eddie Goldman, obviously we spoke about it a lot this preseason, this offseason, OTAs, and Cody was kind of spot on with it. Cody said, do not be surprised if Eddie Goldman lands a starting position here on this defense. Cody, calling it from the jump, man. Eddie Goldman, what did you see in this cat, and what made you believe that Eddie Goldman could still be that number one roster spot here in Atlanta on the defense?
Yeah, man, you can just tell watching him practice. He's got that high energy. Even though he's a vet guy, he's still got the energy. You can still see that he's got talent for rushing the quarterback, man. And it's like you said, that I was not going to be surprised 100%. Matter of fact, I was pretty sure, a couple of podcasts ago, I said it's going to be Grady, it's going to be Goldman, it's going to be Amimata were my first three guys I was telling you, starting defense. Man, you can just tell when guys got that dog in him, man. And Eddie Goldman has got that dog in him. And if he can be anything like he had been in his, previous years, man, why would you not want him on the field? What we saw from practice, man, he looked good. He looked crisp. He looked clean. He looked healthy. He looked like he had, like he's still looking good, man. So absolutely not. To see Eddie Goldman, starting for, week one, play one out on the defense with Grady and Amimata, would not be surprised at all.
Absolutely, man. Eddie Goldman here fighting for his spot. Another player on the defense that I want to speak about before we get out of here. D'Angelo
Before we end, doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any Michael Penix today. He walked out in street clothes. Shorts, hoodie.
Maybe he signified that
Shorts,
spot.
Hoodie. Still got the cap on, though. You know what I mean? He's still got
Breaking news here for the podcast. Michael Penix Jr. may not play preseason game 2. So now we're going to change our score prediction. I don't think we score a touchdown at all.
Maybe that's they seen the thing. Maybe they seen what happened to J.J. McCarthy and changed a little bit of mind.
Yeah. That could be something to do with it, Philip. That's absolutely. Appreciate Philip coming through with that breaking news here on the channel. You may not see Michael Penix Jr. today, Falcon fans. Let's see.
God bless.
You can say he knows and understands the game, fresh body and mind. He should be good. Manuel McFarland said, "What's good, fellas? I want to see Penix for at least one more series, just one." Absolutely. Ethan Williams with the crying emojis after Philip comes with the breaking news here on the podcast. May not see Michael Penix Jr. today. Philip, do some research on that. Make sure there's no rumor report that he has an injury. So we can clarify
it's not an injury. He's did warm ups from what I see, and it says right here he will not play today.
Okay.
Okay, from what it says right here, they're just going under caution after last week's game and seeing all the injuries happening. So, at least they're taking aware of it and they're being cautious about it.
I know, but it's still in my mind. It's like, I mean, he's a baller. I know he's a baller. Like I seen it in college. I seen it preseason game 1. I know he's a good player, but that's how you get your reps in the NFL as preseason. Mm-hmm. That's how you get the experience to being a quarterback here in the NFL, playing with these later receivers, playing with these guys that may not even make the roster, but showing the talent that you have.
This shows me that they're still trying to find trade value in Heineke. And it shows that we're also not going to – you won't see probably no starters at all this preseason, which I'm cool with. But that's just what it points out there.
That sucks. Cody, your thoughts. Philip, we'll get to you. Obviously, Phillips kind of gave his thoughts on it. But Cody, Michael Penix Jr. not playing preseason game 2. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a little shocking, man. I was going to say, I think it probably probably confirms, kind of like Philip said, trying to get a little more trade value out of Tyler Heineke. But I also think that probably says not too many great things for Tyler Heineke. I think the reason they may be sitting him out, they don't want him to get hurt. Preseason.
They know he's going to be the backup to Kirk.
They know he's going to be the backup. And so, if you're getting rid of Tyler Heineke, go ahead and just throw him out there and let him do his thing. Let him, try to make, another team, put film out there for another team. Don't get your backup quarterback hurt. God forbid, I don't want Tyler Heineke to get hurt, but if Tyler Heineke gets hurt, you can still cut him, still save that money, if you can't find a trade partner. So that's kind of what it sounds like, is like they've seen enough of Penix and they're looking for a trade partner for Heineke.
Yep.
A little interesting, more inactives.
Talk to me.
Antonio Hamilton Sr. will not also be active today. He will be inactive. Where is it? Arnold Ebiketie is inactive.
Wow.
Now, see, he needs now. Ebiketie's definitely needs to be on the field.
He needs to be on the field, bro.
And Matthew Judon is there, but he's also inactive.
That one I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Arnold Ebiketie? What are we doing, dude?
And outside linebacker Lorenzo Carter is also inactive today.
That's okay with me too.
I figured Carter was going to be inactive. Man.
The Ebiketie one's a head
scratcher. Sink or swim, Heineke. I think he's going to be doing a lot of sinking. Falcon fans, no Arnold Ebiketie today on defense? I mean, I know he is a vet. He is a vet here in the NFL. He did play preseason game 1, but I don't know, man. I don't know about that decision, because you got a lot of players on that D line and on that secondary and linebacker position that are kind of you got to see what Ebiketie can do, because if he's going to be rotational.
So here's my question then: is he not playing because
I didn't know this either, man.
Oh, so I didn't know Rook was hurt.
I did not know Rook was hurt unless day-to-day. I didn't know that either.
I would say, so now here's my question.
But it was minor.
Go ahead, Cody.
I would say, yeah. So now here's my question: is the reason that Ebiketie's not on the field is because you brought in Judon and now you're looking to shop Ebiketie? Are we looking to move from Ebiketie because he's not been what he's, as advertised?
Give me my money. Just give me my money. Come on, man. Arnold Ebiketie? Trade? Possibly? I don't know why you don't play Ebiketie today. That's crazy to me.
I don't know.
Kayla Reynolds here in the chat said, "Rise up, let's go shot." Kayla Reynolds in the chat, man. Appreciate the support. Hell Real in the comment section said, "Wow. Why is Arnold Ebiketie not playing here at preseason game 2? Philip, your thoughts?"
Wait, what did you say again?
Manuel thinks the scene that Ebiketie's position is solidified. Philip, your thoughts on Ebiketie?
It would be a kind of a shock if it happened, but I don't think it. I think making this move is going to be like a similar situation 2016. It's just a guy that's going to help him get better. You know what I mean? But if it ends up being, they're shopping him, hey, man, best of luck to you. But, I just don't really see it happening. But, it is what it is. Can't change it if it does. You know what I mean? It's something to look for, though. That's honestly something to look for. We'll just have to see. You know what I mean?
I think, and this is just me, being a diehard Falcon fan that I am, I don't think Ebiketie's done enough, Manuel. And I'm not taking shots at Ebiketie. I'm really not, because I'm rooting for the kid. I like Ebiketie. But I just don't think he's done enough here in his time with the Atlanta Falcons. We traded up for this cat in the second round. Do not forget this, people. We traded up for him in the second round, early into the second round, to grab Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State. The nickname, the Sack Master. And I can count on one hand how many sacks Ebiketie's got since his time in the NFL. I think Arnold Ebiketie has got to do more to make this roster spot. I think his spot's solidified. Yes, I think he has a spot on this roster. But Ebiketie's supposed to be a starter in the league. You took him as a second-round draft pick. He's supposed to be a starter. And yes, you have other vets like Lorenzo Carter. You could call Zach a vet. He's a second-year player now. But, you have a lot of depth there at that spot. And Arnold Ebiketie not getting playing time in preseason, maybe he has solidified that spot, but me as a fan, I feel like he needs to do just a little more. I don't know. So Ethan Wilson here in the comment section said chess, not checkers. Manuel said advocating number 2 behind Lorenzo now that Judon is here. I can see that. 100%. You know, but as we just spoke on, I'm advocating he's supposed to be starting in the NFL, brother. He got drafted second round, traded up for you.
It's gonna happen. Lorenzo's not gonna be here forever. He's getting up there in age too. So, yeah, maybe in a year or two, you could see. Maybe it could be this year. You might see Lorenzo get the boot. You know what I mean? Just age-wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We'll just have to see.
We'll see what happens here, man. As I said, we are less than 12 minutes away from the live preseason game, too, man. We're going to go ahead and close this thing out, get ready to watch some Falcon football. Philip, if we're feeling it, man, we're going to do a halftime report here on the live about the preseason game, too. Cody, you as well, if you got time. Halftime report. If not, we'll finish it up with a late night show tonight about a wrap up of today's game.
What happened today? Okay, cool.
So, Falcon fans, stay tuned to DFU today. We are bringing you live content of the Atlanta Falcons, daily Atlanta Falcon coverage. Man, you have no reason not to head over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. I challenge everybody here in the live, every live viewer, every live commenter here. I challenge each and every one of you to drop a like. All you got to do is hit the like button. Drop a like, ring the bell, man. We need you here. We got to have your support here to have this podcast. Without you guys, we don't have a podcast. Some more fun news here for DFU. The DFU flag is being shipped out today, baby. DFU flag. And so if you're at
it's going to go straight right here, boys. It's going to look good right here.
In the bins, just know DFU's there, baby. Pull up on it. Falcon fans, appreciate you all tuning out today. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Philip, Cody, shout out to you guys for coming on tonight or this afternoon. I keep saying tonight, man. I'm used to late night shows. Philip, Cody, shout outs for tonight, brother. Today. Shout outs for today.
Shout out to the day. Shout out to the team. Heineke, you better get your stuff together. So shout out to you. Don't make me regret that shout out. Okay. John Paddock, we went back and got you. Don't make me regret it. So shout out to you as well. You know, shout out to the NFL season coming back in less than 4 weeks. We got 3 coming up. Hey, shout out to y'all. Shout out to you. Starting off this show. I don't know how you you the main coach. I didn't. That's not my role, so it just felt odd at first. Okay, so shout out to you, doing all that main coach, host and all that junk.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, shout out to both of y'all. Let's go watch this game, baby. You know what I mean? Let's rise up.
Cody, my main man, checking in from work, taking 42 minutes away from his time on the clock. Cody, shout out to you, sir. Shout out for tonight.
Hey, man, shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody watching. Let's say big shout out to our Dirty Birds. Let's see what we can do. Let's get after it, man. It's time to rise the fuck up.
Absolutely, man. It's time to show down and throw down in Baltimore, baby. Manuel said, I need a flag. Hey, we may just have them for sale, baby. So stay tuned here for DFU, man, because we got some more exciting things to come here for the podcast, man. Shout out to each and every live viewer tonight. Again, with the night. I don't know why I keep saying the night, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in here at lunchtime with DFU, man. We appreciate everybody that tuned in. Shout out to all our supporters, our daily supporters, day one supporters for sure, man. Huge shout out to you guys for always being here in the live comment sections. Philip, Cody, we got a game to watch, man. So DFU is out of here. A-Town down. Rise up. We out.